Alright, in separating the directional wiring out of the harness, you'll find inside your control unit a wire tie holding things together. We'll get that cut away and then separate the harness out a little bit and pull this wire through. We'll continue. So what we're doing now is we've separated this shielding from the inside of the wiring harness by snipping this wire tie, and we're going to pull back the wire for the directional to do a relocation. I'm going to relocate the directionals on the triple tree. Directional wire taped up, it pulls through, it'll pull back, it should anyway, pull back through this this mesh material reasonably easily. Let's give that a shot. So as I pull it back, there we go, it's pulling back through this material. I can hold it down and should just kind of pull through. There we go. Alright, I haven't had to cut any wires, haven't had to do anything but just take my time. So there you have it. Now what we're going to do is inside of this is a rubber grommet, a waterproofing grommet. We're going to pull through. We're going to continue to pull through. I'm actually going to push the entire grommet through with the wire and then separate it once that's through and put the grommet back in here. Here what we're going to do is run our pull lines through the bar. Do this several different ways. If you've been online, one of the best examples actually is with Bill at BR Bars. He shows you how to do it with a piece of loose link chain. It's actually a really good way to do it. Very quick, very simple, and effective. If you have the loose link chain, go ahead, use that example. Otherwise, I don't have that. So, and I've done this pulling for other jobs quite a bit. Here's how you do it. Tape off any holes in the bar. Create a path of vacuum. And I've taped off here. So I'm going to create a vacuum here to here. Here's where I need to have my pull line through from both sides of the bars, and it exits on both sides of the handlebar or tree. So with that in mind, I'm creating suction from this point, literally just putting this on here, and it's going to pull. Slide this right on up and pull, take a vacuum right through here. What I've done is I've tied onto the pull line a little piece of plastic. Literally, it's just a piece of a plastic bag from the supermarket, and this will actually draw right through that hole with vacuum. Let's check it out. See how we did. It was a little fragile. I had done it already, so it was a little fragile. Let me just walk it through a little bit. There we go. Alright. That's it. Right? Create a vacuum, create a path of vacuum, and pull it through. Done. I now have my pull line on this leg So when I go to put the rest of the wiring harness, as we saw earlier, I can just tie it off to one side and pull it through the bars. At which point then we're ready to start reassembling the bars. I do this at this point. I'm going to mount the bars a bit on the bike so that when I pull on them, I'll have some resistance here. So now all I do is I move these little pieces of tape over, just looking to create a bit of vacuum. And it doesn't have to be completely sealed. If you create enough vacuum, it's going to pull that light little piece of plastic through regardless. Alrighty. Actually, I'm going to leave that there and take this and put it over this other piece here. So now my path of vacuum is going to be from this leg. I'll put this on, and the path of vacuum will be here. We'll give that a shot. So what I've done now is I've taken the bars. Again, I've run the pull lines through the bars and have mounted the bars, not tight. They're not really tight here. They're still a little loose, but just enough to offer some support when I start pulling the lines through through the bar harness. Make sure you stagger the pins when you do the tape up. Don't tape them up all in one bundle, because that will make it very difficult to go through the bars. All right, stagger the pins a little bit so that when you feed them through, they're not all in one location. So I've got pins back here, and I just kind of stagger them all the way down the tape up, so it'll turn a little easier as it feeds through the bars. All right, remember that. Just stagger the pins a little when you do the tape up. We'll continue. You have at least one leg pulled through. That's the wiring harness coming through and terminating out. Notice I'm not pulling at the same time the directionals. The directionals are going to connect back down here. Stuff some wiring wherever that might go, because the directional control is actually happening from the switch. Directional indicator button, the push button is here. It sends control back down to the relay, and then the relay the signal is through this connector. So we don't actually run the directional control through the handlebars, which is nice, because don't underestimate this part of the job. This part, running these through, is a challenge to say the least. Okay, make sure that again you stagger those pins so that you can create a somewhat flexible line to go through here. Well, that wasn't too bad. Pulled another line through, staggered the pins back, taped off at the braided shielding, and pulled back through the bar. It did get a little touchy in there a little bit, but inevitably it's pulled back. I'm now pulling down through the. I'm going to just go ahead and just pull it right down through the triple tray into place. So from here, pull when you're going to reassemble. Start getting this control on. Pull the shielding through the handlebar until it starts to snug itself up, until it starts to really just pull this piece up into place, and that way you don't have to worry about it bunching up in there and what you're going to do with it thereafter. Your throttle grip into the slots here and turn it until it actually starts to come together, at which point just put these two bolts in there. Don't tighten them. Just put them in snug. Right? Something to hold your work together while you finish off the rest of the job. All right. What we're doing now is reconnecting the throttle. Remember to pull back the harness. keep pulling it back until this snugs up. As you can see, it's almost just right up to the bar. So now at this point, remember these slide over the cable onto the lug at the end, and then come in from the top and push into the throttle assembly, and that's what you can expect at this point. They'll be slack, but remember, we can start to take up the slack with our adjuster bolts. Start to back those out a little bit, and you'll see this slack actually getting taken up. See that? So now it won't fall out on you anyway, and we'll finish the adjustment in just a few minutes. The next one, again, pull it snug, pull everything up to meet your job. The ball, the open end, slides over the cable, and then you pull the ball into the brass socket. Alright, at which point, again, if everything's lining up for you, turn the cable, turn the throttle itself, keep pushing and pushing, and sooner or later you're going to end up with that. Then back out the throttle adjustment a little bit just to keep it in place, and you're done. Now what you need to do is verify your connections here. You can bundle up inside the assembly. Look to make sure that it's meshing, which it is not doing here that smoothly. These wires may need to go inside and under. That looks a little better. And just kind of start to work the assembly back together again. Take it apart a couple times. Make sure you're not binding anything and pinching any wires or anything during the assembly. Just get something in it to hold it together a little bit. And that's a good start. Alright, once this is the case, you got something to snug it up with. You can work on getting your brake cable into place, and we'll continue. Let's see what we can do for getting this connector back together. I've made notes. I have my notes about where the connector goes. Again, pins 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. On this side, let's see, we got an orange white here, and as we push them through this waterproof connector, remember, we don't have to worry about which way the pins are facing because they snap into. Done. It's snapped right in. Yellow, black. All right, that should be right. All right, looking good. You've got your wiring put back together within reasonable extent. You've reinserted all your pins right through, and you've inserted this orange cap, clicks down in, and also you've replaced the waterproof seal. At which point all your pins should be showing through, and done. We'll tuck it away. Now when we're ready, we'll tuck it away when all is said and done.